Shedeur Sanders and other Day 3 NFL Draft 2025 picks who could make an impact as rookies were still about 2 months away from fully padded football. But the season of hope is fully underway in the NFL. Teams are still working through OTAs and getting to know their recent draft picks, with most of the attention focused on the players selected inside the top 100. However, part of the beauty of the NFL draft is how much gold can be mined out of mid and late-round selections on day 3, even in a class without an overabundance of depth. With that in mind, here's a look at some of the potential finds in the 2025 class. Quarterback Shedeur Sanders, Cleveland Browns, round 5, pick 144. This one's complicated, as the Browns' QB room is as crowded as that of an early 90s college football team. At the same time, if there's any day 3 quarterback with a reasonable line to a starting job, it's Sanders, who joins Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, and Dylan Gabriel in a fight to take Deshaun Watson's old job. Flacco is 40. Pickett is on his 3rd team in 4 years, and Gabriel, despite being selected higher in this year's draft than Sanders, is a 5'11" QB with a lot of question marks. This is not only the strangest QB situation in the NFL, it's also the most wide open. Anyone, including Gabriel, could theoretically win this job. Personally, I still don't understand the logic in drafting Gabriel ahead of Sanders. The former is a high-character player, but Sanders is a better prospect and did more statistically last season with far less talent around him. Running back Vashel Tutin, Jacksonville Jaguars, round 4, pick 104. Cam Scatterbo, New York Giants, round 4, pick 105. Dylan Sampson, Cleveland Browns, round 4, pick 126. Jaden Blue, Dallas Cowboys, round 5, pick 149. The 2025 running back class was no joke, which is why this list is pretty crowded. The Jaguars, Giants, Browns, and Cowboys all need help in the backfield right now, either in the form of a true starter or a strong, complementary no. 2. Scatterbo and Tutin feel physically ready to make an impact right away, especially due to the thin position groups on their respective teams. The Browns' running back situation is as wide open as its QB race, and Sampson is fast enough to do damage in the NFL. All 4 of these guys, 5 if you include Carolina's Trevor Etienne, would have been day 2 picks in a thinner RB class. Wide receiver Jalen Royals, Kansas City Chiefs, round 4, pick 133. Torrey Horton, Seattle Seahawks, round 5, pick 166. Royals and Horton both slid in the draft after battling through injuries in 2024. But make no mistake, they are legit, versatile, tough football players who could scrap their way into roles as rookies. Royals, 6 feet, 205 pounds, is a physical, explosive presence who could move around and do serious damage alongside Travis Kelce and Xavier Worthy. Horton, 6'2", 196, is big enough to be an ex-receiver and fast enough to line up just about anywhere else for a team that needs a 3rd receiver to go with Cooper Kupp and Jackson Smith-Njigba. Tight end Gunnar Helm, Tennessee Titans, round 4, pick 120. Helm's subpar combine testing, which was hampered by an injury he tried to fight through, hurt his draft stock. Had he been healthy, he could have been a day 2 selection. A very versatile weapon who can play the Y, U, or F, while also working as a big slot. Helm is physical and long enough to be a factor in the run game. He was one of the craftiest tight ends in college football after the catch last season. Offensive line Jalen Rivers, Cincinnati Bengals, round 5, pick 153. Marcus Mbo, New York Giants, round 5, pick 154. Jackson Slater, Tennessee Titans, round 5, pick 167. Miles Frazier, Detroit Lions, round 5, pick 171. Branson Taylor, Los Angeles Chargers, round 6, pick 199. Rivers, Mbo, Slater, and Taylor are all likely to be interior linemen at the NFL level, but each is versatile enough to play multiple positions. The first 3 names there were among the best day 3 picks, regardless of position. Whether or not they're able to win a job immediately remains to be seen. but all are talented enough to crack a lineup by the end of the season, either as a swing player or an injury replacement. Mbo might be the most interesting of the listed group, as he's potentially a five-position prospect up front and could play on either side of the O-line at guard or tackle. Edge Jack Sawyer, Pittsburgh Steelers, round 4, pick 123. Braden Swinson, New England Patriots, round 5, pick 146. Sawyer's effort, passion, and physicality should be enough to help him make an impact next season, be it as a rotational piece on the defensive front or all over the place on special teams. He's not very long, and he's hardly refined as a pass rusher, but his punch and ability to run through linemen should make him a huge nuisance for Pittsburgh's O-line in training camp, if nothing else. This was a good value pick. Swinson, meantime, could be a real steal if New England can bring out the best version of him. The former LSU edge was a day 2-level talent who fell to the 5th round, mainly because of concerns over his coachability. If he proves he can be a consistent professional, his talent could lead him to outperform his draft slot pretty quickly. Defensive tackle Joshua Farmer, New England Patriots, round 4, pick 137. Ty Hamilton, Los Angeles Rams, round 5, pick 148. Farmer was an inconsistent performer throughout his Florida State career, though he did finish his time in Tallahassee as a captain and was well respected throughout the program. Traits-wise, he has everything a defensive tackle needs to shine in the NFL. He's big, long, powerful, and extremely quick at 6'3", 305, with 35-inch arms and 10.5-inch hands, plus has the versatility to play multiple spots up front. Hamilton was able to overcome length and size concerns at Ohio State by being incredibly consistent and willing to do whatever coaches asked of him. He played nose tackle last season at 299 pounds and was a critical piece in the middle of the Buckeyes' national title team. He's a winner who will attack any role he's given with all he has. Linebacker Jeffrey Bassa, Kansas City Chiefs, round 5, pick 156. Chris Paul, Los Angeles Rams, round 5, pick 172. Bassa was a 4-year starter at Oregon and ran the defensive huddle for much of his time in Eugene. Furthermore, his best football could still be ahead of him after spending most of his youth as a basketball-first athlete. Bassa is athletic enough to fill some type of role for the Chiefs' defense next season or be a terrific special teams player, if nothing else. The same could be said about Paul, who is undersized at 6 feet, 222, but was a tough, explosive, and quick green dot player, meaning he relayed defensive play calls. For Ole Miss last season, cornerback Quincy Riley, New Orleans Saints, round 4, pick 131. Robert Longerbeam, Baltimore Ravens, round 6, pick 212. Riley was one of the most active corners in the country during his 2-year run at Louisville, forcing 23 incompletions and breaking up 19 passes over that span as a feisty defender with speed to burn. A 100-meter champion in high school, Riley was flagged just 3 times over those 2 years. Longerbeam, 5'11", 175, gives up plenty of size but plays much bigger than that. He ran a 4.39-second 40-yard dash with a broad jump of 11 feet, 2 inches at the combine, and was constantly around the football during his 3 years as a starting outside corner at Rutgers. It might be in a rotational role or on special teams, but Longerbeam's a Raven in attitude and spirit. That'll likely show up at some point this summer. Safety Billy Bowman, Atlanta Falcons, round 4, pick 118. Walashi Moore, New York Jets, round 4, pick 130. Bowman and Moore were 2 of the smartest defenders in the 2025 NFL draft class. The former, a 4-year starter who played all over the field at Oklahoma, is a small safety, 5'9", 192, with great speed and even better instincts. The latter, who is only an average athlete, was also a 4-year starter and played his way onto the field as a true freshman for Nick Saban's 2020 national title team. Both players use their coverage instincts and general football IQ to overcome some physical limitations. These 2 are football players in the best sense of the phrase.